I've actually got a Saturday morning off, so I am off for a run. I'm going to try and get 10 miles in. I haven't done 10 miles for ages, but in about 6 weeks, I've got a 55k trek, which will be like running and walking, and I need to get a bit of practice in. So I know I've got it in me, and I used to do it all the time, but I haven't done it for ages. So got my hat to keep my head cool, got my music on as well, and then I've also got my vest, drink, and some energy gels as well, just if I want them. That's it. So let's see how this goes. One kilometre in, so if I'm going for 10 miles, 16k, so only 15 left. I have had just a downhill flat bit, so that's why it's nice and easy. But I'm going to I've got quite a few hills on this one, so I won't be as cheery in that time. So another reason to come out with a vest and stuff on is that I'm going to be wearing it when I'm doing my trek, and it's always good to see how it goes. Now, one of the things which is, I'm only a few K in, and I put this extension onto my bottle. It's meant to make it easier to get a drink and get a sip, but all it's really succeeding in doing is bouncing around and hitting me on the hand. So, lesson learned, to go back to having a normal little cap on it and just go and have a little sip when I need to, rather than have that extra straw. I used to have backpacks with the kind of the bladder packs in the back, where you could probably put about 3 litres of water. I switched over because when November went off out in the where did I go? Peak District, and I thought I'll get a new vest and got one instead with bottles, because that's what kind of been recommended to me. Because if you're out for a long time, you want something you can easily fill up, and it's a lot easier to fill up a 500ml bottle than it is to fill up a massive bladder pack, which is actually quite heavy to wear. The other thing is, you're never quite sure when your water's going to run out when you've got the backpack on. I've done it before, I've got loads, and then actually suck it and then it's all dry, and you've got to worry then. Whereas here, I've actually got like a couple of pockets, so I probably have 2 on there, and I can understand, one's finished halfway through and I know I need to fill up. And when I've been out before, I've even popped into a pub, got a cola or something. I don't generally drink like full fat Coke, but when you're out, it's actually quite good to get a bit of energy reserves up, and then they're quite happy to top up your water. Or you can put this under a sink, under a tap in a sink, whereas the packs aren't. So if you are going to be going out at longer runs, especially as it's getting hotter, that's what I'd recommend. The packs are quite easy because the bladder packs kind of distribute the weight quite evenly, but if you don't get it right, they can be a bit sloshy, it can move around, and as I said, it's quite a lot in there, when actually you might just want to go out for a shorter run, but know that it's actually baking hot and you really should take some water with you. Alright, I better carry on not chatting and run instead. Okay, I feel like a bit of an idiot now, but swapped it over, and actually this has got a little bit of elastic hoop, so I can stick it in there and it's not bubbling about much. But I wouldn't have learned that if I hadn't been on this run. Cool, that was it. I thought I'd just admit that I don't know everything, but it's always good to get used to gear. I'm just on a bit of a hill, so that's why I'm having a little bit of a walk. All good prep for the long trek, because that is what you do. If you're doing an ultra or anything like that over a long distance, no one's running the hills really. Got to have a little bit of a walk, save your energy, and get used to it. And again, especially if it's hot, it is actually hot. I'm in the shade here under these trees, but it is hot, and you just kind of like need to conserve energy where you can. So not every run needs to be a PB. Not every run needs to be under a certain time. You know what? You get easy runs, you get fun runs, and this is what this is, just having a day out. And then you get downhill, and of course you can run. 5k done, so about a third of the way through the run. It's all right. Legs, understandably, not feeling as much. I've only run 5k this month, and it's the 10th now, so I've doubled it. Yeah, just not been able to get out, or had a bit of an injury. So let's go. Got another one of those hills, so I get to do a cheeky little video. I could run up it, but today is about just getting a few more miles in the legs and not killing myself. But another thing I've remembered, this is great, it's all coming out now. I just had to move over to the side of the track to let some bikes go through. And I rubbed up against some stinging nettles. So I've got some stings down my leg, which are going to be a bit annoying. And that reminded me of slightly longer trail socks. In the summer, especially if you're going on trail, getting through fields, all those kind of things, you are going to have brambles, stinging nettles, things that can aggravate, and it's quite good having longer socks. And what I actually do is I've got socks and I've got these calf sleeves on, which are great because one, they stop you getting stung or scratched, but also they help your recovery in your legs, and also kind of alleviate any kind of pains you may get a bit later on. I can't quite remember the exact science behind it, but it's all to do with compression, making the blood flow through there a lot quicker, and that's it. So next time, especially the trek, I'm going to put some longer socks on so I haven't got an itchy leg. What goes up must come down, so another little downhill. So that in the background is where I need to get up to in a bit. I've got a nice little downhill until I get to the climb. Alright, I've come to the horrible hill, which I ran a bit up. I haven't been walking up all the hills. I've been running ones that are alright, but this one is just, it's too steep to run up, and I'm coming up to about 10k in, so I haven't done anything more than 10k for a little while, so got to keep those reserves because I have another 6 or so k left at the end to get back home. It's hot. It's about 20 degrees checked on my phone, which, do you know what? I've run in much hotter, but I'm not acclimatised to it. We've had quite a cold kind of beginning of the year, and I can guarantee by like July, August time, this is going to feel nothing. This is going to feel cold, but at the moment it feels hot. So that's the road. At 11k in now, just under, and I've got no more hills to go up really. I'll be turning left in a second, and that's going to take me downhill all the way back to the village. And yeah, there's one hill back before home, but no monsters, and my legs get to relax a little bit on the downhill. But it's when you realise on the downhill that actually your legs are a bit tired because you could properly open up and go for it, but the legs don't always want to do it. But I'm happy, and today's not been about just like running fast or anything like that. It's about getting out there and getting some miles on these legs and enjoying the countryside while I can. I would say it's a bit about fitness, but a lot of the time mental well-being for me, for getting out in the country side, and yeah, not really seeing anyone, which is nice. A few cyclists who've all said hello, which makes a change. But yeah, it's all been good. 12k in, and started to notice that my form's dropping a little bit. So, as I said, my legs are going to start getting a little bit more tired now, as I haven't really done anything more than a 10k for ages, and not run this month really. So I'm just kind of reminding myself, keep the head up, keep the back a little bit straighter, and just try and think a little bit more, because it should help. Yeah, it should make me a little bit more efficient in the runs. I'm 14.5k in, so a mile till I finish, and do you know what, I'm a bit fucked. Yeah, I'd quite happily just stop now, which isn't great, but it's a good little indicator that I need to work on a bit more fitness, keep getting the miles in. I probably shouldn't have just jumped up from 5k up to 10 miles, but it's not something I haven't done before. So I'm kind of hoping this will kind of kickstart it all, and my legs will remember what they're going to do again. But if I've got this 55k in 6 weeks, then I need to assess what I'm doing, probably slow the pace down even more, have more walk breaks, and luckily there are fueling stops on the way to get a drink, get a bit of food, to go to the toilet, that kind of thing. So some quite nice little ways to break it up and keep the energy going. Didn't eat a huge amount yesterday, so I'm not kind of fueled as well as I should have. But hey, it's all right. I'm not dead. I'm still moving. But yeah, looking forward to getting home. There we go. 10 miles done. I'm treating myself to a little walk up this hill before we get home. But yeah, so 10 miles took just under 2 hours. So quite leisurely according to my watch, but according to how I'm feeling, not as leisurely. It's about 250 metres elevation throughout that, most of that kind of concentrated in the middle with that big hill, but it's done. Garmin says I've burnt off around 1400 calories as well, so got to make sure I get some grub in me when I get back home. It's about lunchtime, and yeah, make sure I'm kind of able to recuperate a little bit, relax, and I'm hoping I get some rest as well. I had a really rubbish sleep the last few nights. I do think that when I've been exercising I have a much better sleep than if I haven't, so I'm hoping for that. And then my one last little tip for a hot sunny day, if you're a bloke like me, maybe with some moobs, I put a little bit of tape over my nipples. I know you probably don't want to hear that, but I put a little bit of KT tape. I know you can get like little nipple guards and stuff just to stop it chafing. I didn't do that, so they're a little tender, but not terrible, not bloody or anything, which you sometimes see, and I've only had like once or twice before. But yeah, that's my final tip. So looking ahead to my big run trek 35 mile, 55 kilometre one that I've got in 6 weeks. I keep saying 6 weeks. I'm doing these little clips while I'm running. I'm probably repeating myself, but not this long water bottle thing because it didn't really work. Make sure I've got lots of gels. Put some longer socks on so I don't get stung or scratched. And just try and prepare beforehand with some good sleep, hydrating properly, which is a bit of a spur of the moment thing today. So I hadn't really done that when I should really do it all the time. And also carb loading for the few days or so before the event, and yeah, just making sure I'm carrying on that nutrition. So that's it. I hope you've, well, I don't know if you would have enjoyed that, but you might have got a few little tips out of it. And oh, finally, sunscreen. It's not too bad today, but I know middle of June it's going to be even hotter. So that's my final tip. All right, see ya. Bye.